Hello and welcome, my name is Ajaxpost and this is Computer Tycoon in the year of 1982. And as you can see, we're just starting off with the map of all the places I am selling my computers into. I am the Green Company. I've called myself Ultimate Tektron, and why not? It's as good a name as any, I suppose. So I'm spread across the globe in lots of different countries, but none of the really big expensive ones. That I just don't have the resources in terms of computer technology dollars, nor logistics points, which are the sort of the representation of my ability as a company to market and sell my computers into different parts of the world, into different countries. I'm in a whole raft of different countries, rich and poor, all demanding different things from my computers, or different things of computers, and I obviously try and mix and match my computer models to meet their demand at prices that they are more than happy to pay. Some countries, rich countries, will tend to pay for good quality, high performing models, and will pay perhaps a little bit over the odds, whereas your poorer countries want something that just works at a very good price. So it's a competitive thing, and I have to juggle those competing interests in this game of producing something which is good and something which is really good value, so that I capture the best of all the markets I'm selling into. So I'm starting on this map so you can see where I'm selling into. Now if I click over here in the map control on my dominancy, is that a real word or not? I really don't know. It tells you in which of these countries I am the dominant supplier of computers. And pretty much every country I'm in, some of them I am the only company actually selling into, so it's a bit unfair. So I think I'm the only company, for example. I keep getting those two words mixed up, country and company. I really ought to sort of not do that. Yeah, so countries like Iraq, is Iraq, isn't it? Yep, I'm the only company selling into that country, so obviously I'm going to be dominant. The only place where I've got real competition, there's one country in Malawi, isn't it, in Africa. Europe, there's a couple of places I'm competing, primarily with a yellow company, which is Data Systems. See, they've got vast swathes of Europe, particularly Eastern Europe. I think someone else is in Europe as well. Yeah, the red company, Brutal Data, they've got a smattering of European countries that they sell into. Blue, IBN, definitely not any company with a similar name, no connection whatsoever. They sell a few places, but they're not actually competing. The graphs we see here, if I check on Switzerland, for example, is between me, the market share here, between me, the Green Company, and the sort of yellow colour, Data Systems. So the red companies and the blue companies aren't really sort of keeping up in those particular areas. So in Europe, the only place I'm not really dominant, I think, is Switzerland and Austria. No, it's not. It's Romania and Ukraine. Which country? I keep forgetting these. Right, I'm here. I'm in Bosnia is that's a flip-floppy kind of country. It's only a small country, less than 500,000 people in the game. The game is not real world, so the wealth of the countries and the amount of population and their demands for computers is totally randomised in this stage of the game. It's an early access, it's an independent, a one-man developer, basically has created this whole marvellous game. And at the moment it is a kind of random map. It uses real world countries, obviously, as you can see here, but the actual sort of status of each country is randomised. On the roadmap for the game development further down the year, he does plan to develop a real world sort of simulation where the actual state of countries is more in keeping with what they are historically and developing, which is obviously going to be quite an interesting challenge, both for him as a developer to create that sort of time scale of country development and make it part of the game as well, and how that feeds into how we as players and the AI indeed operate within that environment. But anyway, I'm getting off the subject here slightly. So yeah, we're in here. I'm losing out primarily in Romania and Bulgaria, again to the yellow company. Other than that, I'm doing rather well. As can be seen, I'll go to I like being on the dominancy map most because that tells me where I'm working successfully or not. Statistically, I have always been, apart from the very first year, ahead of the curve, selling the most computers, which is obviously good news for me as a player because the objective of any computer game is to win. And that's what I hope to do in this one. So I'm ahead of the curve there. Out of the 5 companies, I'm selling over 24%. That's a daily figure, and that will change each day's sales is calculated, so that moves around a bit. But I'm doing really well, so that's rather good. Okay, so what are we actually looking for to do today? I'm thinking I might want to actually increase my market coverage. Which means I should need to increase my factory capacity if I can do that. And that is all going to be based upon something really exciting coming up. The 8088 computer, so the CPU rather, is going to be coming through quite soon. If I click on it there, we can see it counting up. If I click the game, so keep it running, there it goes, which is twice as fast as my current CPU, so it gives me 8 performance points. That cost me a bit more to manufacture, 276 processing power, production power rather, to produce it. Actually, I'm just noticing these figures in the top. They're not good. I don't like red numbers there. That's bad. So let's have a look at my computers. We don't want to see the archive one, just the ones currently on sale. Are any of them being sold? So most often at the turn of the year in particular, I do need to reduce my prices, certainly on the older computers like this one here, to bring those down into something that people will buy. Hopefully that will help a bit. It does a little bit. This one here. Ooh, recommended. I'm well above the recommended price for that, so let's take that down to 1800. Okay, how are we doing here? Let's get these in date order actually. That's better. Oh, that's interesting. My older computers are more expensive. Right, so let's chop this one down. 1950, can I sell it for that much? Let's run a bit faster. Yeah, that's better. Right, good. Right, so my numbers are back in green. I am back in profit. And my DPP, which is demand for production power, so that's kind of matching your production capacity.
You have researched a new technology.
Thank you. Right, we'll just stop that there for a second. So you're kind of matching your capacity to produce computers against the actual demand for computers. It's all kind of abstracted out, which actually works rather well once you've got your head around the whole concept. Oh, this is good. Look at that. I'm green. I'm dominant again. You see, that's the beauty of price cuts. I'm dominant again now in these two countries of Bulgaria and Romania. And you'll notice they are both poor countries. So obviously me reducing my prices means I'm now more competitive in terms of computer features and performance and so on against Date or whoever the yellow company is. Right, research. So we now have the 8080 CPU. So what we need to do there, let's just check actually what my next research task is. That's the bus. So that's expansion cars, that's good. Yeah, these shouldn't take too long to research. They're nice, fairly low numbers. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, as you see, research points. Again, this is an abstraction. So in terms of how much laboratory R&D capacity I've built on my sites, we'll look at one of the two of those in a moment. I will have so many research points which I can allocate. And that will bring me these research results. UPS is really low. It gives me features. features are always good, and that's a nice quick hit. You see, everything else is 3000. I've currently got 13 RP, which means I produce 13 research points every day, which actually isn't too bad. I'm getting reasonably good research performance. Okay, so having researched a new technology, we need to create hardware to put it into. So let's clear all the filters. My CPU. So my latest CPU, this one at the bottom here, was the old 8080, and this is good. This is the performance of those. That's interesting, actually. What's it the motherboard? There was an issue. I'm not. Has it been resolved here? You may remember I was whispering on about it. I really shouldn't say that about myself. I was talking about, describing in detail, some issue I apparently had with performance of processors, where the older ones seem to be better. As far as I'm aware, we haven't had an update to the game recently, which would have fixed this. But I'm sure when I was running it last time, I was seeing odd results here in that my new processors had lower performance than my older ones. Anyway, so yes, so let's create our new processor. It's a new CPU. It's going to be an 8088. 8088, yep. I'm going to use the 10mu technology and VLSI, which is all to do with packing of components and stuff. Again, it's all quite good. If you saw on the research page, which I skipped past just a moment ago, it does tell you about the components, what you're researching, and where they sort of fit into the history of computers. Right, now passive cooling just makes things a bit more yeah, they're a quality component, I think, passive cooling. Right, so that gives me that. I'm now 50% of my competitor's performance, so I'm still behind on that. I like to bump this up a little bit. Can we make it 48? Now the trouble is, by sort of turbocharging your components, your hardware, does increase the production cost of each one, and obviously the upfront cost of manufacturing or creating the machines to manufacture. So it's all nicely abstracted, which is rather good. So let's take that up to... Oh, that'll do. Final performance 8.2. Okay, we'll take that, we'll create that. Oh, I'll give it a name actually. So this is the 80... there it is. 88. 10M for 10mu. I always keep thinking I should look up if I can actually get the mu symbol from my keyboard, and I never remember to do it, so we'll just use 10M anyway. Okay, so that's our new processor. You see the performance there is less than the 8080. Yeah. Core performance there was 4. Yeah, this is the discrepancy that I noticed. So the actual performance is supposed to be 4, but for some reason it comes through on this chart as 9. Maybe it's adding the quad. I don't know what it's doing. So I might still be better off using the old 8080 processor. We'll see. Anyway, so let's get out of there. So what we need to do is create a new computer using this new technology. And what we will do, we'll take the Gamer Pro, shall we? Okay, so we'll copy this design, because this is our premium model at the moment, really, because people are buying computers for games. So we will take that one, we'll copy this design, we'll give it a new name, as is my want. It's the Gamer Pro, so it's still aimed at gamers. 82 for the year. I'm using a very simple naming convention, to be honest. We'll save that design for the moment. Come out. Again, this is just a slight way the game currently needs to work, as you're sort of duplicating or copying or prototyping from older models. Right, the accessories here. We want the gamepad because it's a gamer keyboard. That will do. So those are the features we want, and the CPU performance at the moment is 26.14. So if we stick in the 8088, No, I always click that the wrong way. It's not on that one. It's this one here. 25.28. Whereas, yeah, you see, I'm better off with the older processor, which is weird. Okay, does this one give me prestige is 27? No, everything else is pretty much the same. Okay, so we're not changing anything else here. The only new component is the processor, and to be honest, that's not changing. So I'm not sure there's any benefit. What we'll do, we will use a new processor, but we will keep the price lower than the old one, I think, because the performance is slightly less. Okay, so having designed our computer, let's create the prototype.
Your new computer model went into the testing phase.
And that will take 30 days to test and polish. So how does that compare with that one? You see, yeah, the performance is less. Everything else is going to be, the prestige will increase as it goes through the testing phase. So I'll have to sell it for less. Okay, which ones could do with a price drop again? Let's take this one down, I think. Again, what would be nice is if you could sort of, again, as the game develops, I'm not entirely sure what's planned for this. That's good. Yeah, so we're selling more. Right, so we're seeing, yeah, more computer technology dollars every day coming in. Okay, now what I'm thinking of doing is increasing my capacity, production capacity, so I can expand into more countries. So I'm going to need more LP, which is logistics points, so I need to go to a site. And let's have a look at South Korea, one of our latest sites. Now this is a rich country, so this is where you get discounts for creating laboratories, and you have to pay extra to create factories or to run factories. These are the monthly maintenance, sorry, the daily maintenance costs are there. Okay. Now, because I've got an office level 1, I get a 10% discount on the daily cost of the logistics building. Now, if I upgrade this, actually, if I upgrade the office, that'll give me a 20%. A 20% bonus. So if I upgrade that, although it costs me another 5,000, that will cost me another 5,000 every day to run this bigger office.
Your new computer model is polished.
Thank you. We'll come back to that in a second. So yeah, so adding the adding the new office will cost me an extra 5,000, but it will give me more discounts on my other buildings, and particularly considering some buildings like the laboratory here cost me 40-odd thousand each day to run. Getting an extra discount, so that'll be a 20% discount when the second level office is built, should cover the cost of that office, is what I'm thinking. But it will certainly take a good chunk out of it anyway. Right, our computer is ready. The 82. So yeah, the prestige has gone up as I suggested it would. Performance is still a bit on the low side. Right, so let's see. We'll get some feedback from our feedback man. Still the most prestigious, which should mean in those markets where prestige is a key sort of desire of the computer buying public, I should be able to sell this. Prestige doesn't wash it in every country, so let's. Can I sell this actually for a nice round 2001? Okay, let's market that. Are we going to sell any? The word no springs to mind. I have this problem. Okay. Now, the price here is calculated on sort of the cost of these features and so on. There is an algorithm which works it out. It is not directly related to the production capacity
Your
needed.
building upgrade has completed.
Okay, I need to reduce the price again on that. The trouble is, you see here, it's comparing with this machine here, which is what I'm selling for 1800. So selling a machine which is less performance for more is well, it's a road to nowhere basically. Let's sell it for a little bit less. Will that work? Nope. Okay, let's. The trouble is the computer is too similar to the other one, I think. So it's very similar. Everything else is the same apart from the processing power. So why would people want to buy this computer? Obviously, the short answer is they wouldn't. Okay, I'm still making money. That's fine. I think this is probably going to be a no-hoper. I could probably sell more of those. That's good performance on that one. How did I get such good performance on that one? That's ridiculous. The only trouble here is you can't sort of see what CPUs and stuff you've got in there. It's just I don't know. How did I get such good performance? Let's just copy this one for a second and see what it looks like. We'll save that design so we can go back in and edit it. So the memory chip was... Oh, right. It was my old memory chip that was doing it. I think that's probably what it was. And the CPU, again, is the 8080. So what actually... Yeah, let's copy this. Let's put this one in instead of the Gamer Pro machine that we had before. So 82, we'll call this one the Office. And I'm calling it the Office. We'll put the 88 in there. Because rather than using the gamer accessories, we'll stick in those which you might use in an office. There we go. Performance is still very impressive. Removable media. Yeah, I think everything else is bang up to date, so we're not going to worry about that. So let's create
your new computer model went into the testing phase.
Okay, right now I came here to Korea, if you remember back then, before I started waffling around about prices and stuff. I'm losing money again. Bother. Right. I don't like losing money. I think these older ones are still selling. But maybe not by enough. Okay, let's take these down a bit more. Another 100 off. The thing is, of course, if that doesn't help with demand, no more people buy them. I simply
You
making
have researched a new technology.
Money. Right. Okay, let's stop again for a second. Oh, I'm back in the pink, or the green, or the black, whatever it is. Okay, so our new technology, which we have researched, is the S100 bus. That's it there. So this is an improvement to the motherboard components. So let's have a look at that on our hardware. I'll come back to the site in a minute. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit here. So let's have a look at our motherboards. Okay, so our latest motherboard is this one here. So we will copy this. Oh, yes, I don't wait to see what the bot. I click that and then don't wait for the dialog box to pop up, so I start typing immediately, which is silly of me. We'll call it the S-Bus. Okay, so currently features are 52.85. If we add that in, a nice bump up in features, and I improve my comparison to my opponents. Again, this is something that will be improved in for future updates to the game. We'll get more information about what our opponents are actually delivering. so we can more accurately sort of compete with them. Okay, that looks good, so let's create that. And yeah, that's looking a whole lot better than the others. So what we could do on my computer screen here is we'll take the Gamer Pro, we will copy this design, call it the 82.3 for the third computer model I've created in this year already. Oh, mind you, we are nearly at the end of the year, or is that American dates? I can never remember. Okay, so we'll save that. So what we'll do is we'll archive that one because we're never going to sell that one. It just isn't up to spec. Right, so the Gamer Pro, we're going to have accessories. Again, the slight sort of glitch in the game is this list shows the last things you had selected rather than what you've actually copied from the computer you've just copied from, basically. Yeah, so that's the gamer options. The removable media. Why have I still? Yeah, it needs to be that. It needs to be the 3-inch disc. That's better. The CPU. We'll keep the 8088 in there. And the motherboard will be the latest one there. Ooh, look at those features, that's going up. Storage, that's up to date. I didn't check these in the last one, did I? So perhaps I should have done. That's good. Operating system, it's got our basic operating system there. Power supply, we've only... Ooh! We should be using our quiet power. Have I not been doing this properly? Have I been messing up my own computers? I wouldn't be at all surprised, to be honest. Right, I think that's good. So let's create that prototype.
Your new computer model went into the testing
So
phase.
on this table, how does that... Oh, that compares very well with everything else. Oh yeah, that one should be a winner once it's come out of testing. Right, is that one finished polishing yet? No, not just yet, that's halfway through. Okay, I was talking about this, so I want to build a new logistics building here, so that I can sell into more countries, and that will give me that. Okay, I'm on laboratory now. Yeah, so you see, when we first came into this, I only had the 10% discount from having a level 1 office. And that gave me a daily cost for my labs of 40,000 or something, whatever it was. You may remember more than I do now. But having upgraded the office to level 2, I get a 20% bonus or 20% discount. So the cost of that lab has gone down substantially, which covers pretty much the cost of the extra buildings in the first place. So it all kind of makes sense. Right, now, adding a level 4 laboratory. Yeah, the upkeep cost of that is 250,000 at level 4. I'm not going to make anywhere near that at this stage of the game, so I can't do that.
Your building upgrade has completed.
Okay, so I've now got 5 logistics points, so I've got that much more capacity now to expand into other countries, which means I can sell more computers and make more money. Okay, that's... Actually, if I go, I've got somewhere else with a level 1 office. Here we are. So here is a poor country, so my factory is costing me... Actually, I could upgrade the factory. I won't do that just yet. I'll leave... So that's... No translation, unfortunately, is a bug in the game at the moment. It is actually Laos in Southeast Asia.
Your new computer model is polished.
Right, okay, we're getting all sorts of information coming through now. So there's a bug in the game where Laos, unfortunately, is called no translation. And from what the developers told us on the forums, it's a bit of a... It's not easy to fix, so it's still like that. But obviously that will be addressed when the game is updated in the future. Right, my computers have been polished. So that one's been polished, and the feedback for that, it's not a market leader in anything. So can we sell it at that price? Let's see what happens. How about the was that the Gamer Pro? I keep forgetting which one. Yes, so they all go back. Right, the Gamer Pro is the most prestigious. Okay, so the Gamer Pro is going to be sold at 2100, hopefully. Let's market that. And the Office machine, this one wasn't yet, not a market leader in anything. As you can see there, the feature set isn't quite as good, the prestige isn't anywhere near as good as the gaming machines, but everything else is acceptable, so we should be able to sell it for a reasonable price. How does it compare to the other Office machine? It doesn't compare terribly well, actually. In fact, it's worse in terms of, yeah, because I'm using the 8088 processor, the performance is worse. So I think we'll abandon that one before it even gets to the market. Okay, is that one? Yeah, that's okay. So this the Gamer Pro is selling. That's good, at a good price. Splendid. Right, so where shall I go with my extra logistics points? I want somewhere nobody else is. Oh, that's most of Africa. Actually, so what do we have in Africa? Oh, actually, no. Yeah, the blue countries. The blue company has got that part of Africa. So how about these countries here? So I'm looking for one with a sort of broad spec of preferences on there. Prestige would be good actually, or ease of or features. I should be quite good on those. So which ones are the... Oh, that one's good. Sudan. That costs 7 million. I can afford that. It's a big country as well. It's a big country. South Sudan. No. Which one was that? What was that one? Republic of... Not sure where that is. Republic of somewhere. Let's focus a bit more. I'm thinking Central African Republic. Chad, no. I'm tempted to go into the Sudan. Republic of... Is that Republic of Congo? Is it? I'm not quite sure, but no, I'm sure it isn't there. Democratic Republic of the Congo. Oh, they are. Yeah, they are Republic of Congo. Yes, good. Just that you couldn't fit them in the little boxes there. Oh, let's go for it. Let's go for Sudan. Okay, so it's a big country, so I'm going to need to improve my manufacturing capacity. Mind you, I'm already 26% of the market. Oh, those are American. So I've just noticed those are American dates up in the top left corner. So we're only in August now, aren't we? Well, so let's buy Sudan. Okay. Let's go to my dominancy. Right, so I've obviously got that. Right, and as you can see, the demand for production power has increased dramatically. I'm now earning well over 10,000, 20,000 computer technology dollars that day. This is impressive. Right. Now with that extra market, all those extra people buying my computers, I'm still doing quite well in here. Oh, now one thing we've not touched on in this episode is marketing. So where would I like to market actually? How big? Bulgaria's not terribly big. Malawi. That's can I market in Malawi? Increase my, if it works, product value, advertise performance, features, I'll advertise quality, because that goes down well, doesn't it, in rich countries. Malawi in the game is a rich country, so there we go. And with any luck, that will improve my sales in Malawi. I may not become dominant, but it's a big country, so any percentage point increase in sales is definitely worth it. The other marketing thing we can do is we can sponsor video games. The only trouble is I don't have any components which match these performance levels, so I can't make use of that marketing boost. The other way, as you add higher level marketing buildings, you also get sort of newspaper, television, marketing options as well, but they're very, very expensive. So at this stage of the game, it's simply not worth it. The best thing to do is try and get into more countries and increase your sales that way. Are there any other little countries I can take on, actually? Because I've got money and I want to burn it. Anywhere else in Europe? Oh, Spain. That's expensive though. 33.5. 33. That is too expensive. United Kingdom. That could be interesting. There is nobody else in the United Kingdom. It's going to cost me 6 million. Let's do it. But it's only 1 logistics point, as opposed to, say, like Russia, which is a huge country of many millions, which is 4 logistics points. Okay. This is good. This is good sales now. Right. How's my research doing? Built-in speaker. Oh, I'm going to have that soon. Will I get that before the end of the year? I don't know. Oh, this is excellent. And now when my DPP figure here regularly hits or beats or goes above my PP, my production capacity, I will get a warning message, which means demand is outstripping supply, so I need to build more factories. But until that point, I'm not going to bother, actually. Right, but let's slow down a second. Let's have a look at our sites.
You have researched a new technology.
Oh, we've got new technology already. What was it again? I've forgotten already. Built-in speaker. Oh, yes, yes. So the built-in speaker gives me 15 features and 15 prestige. That's a nice boost. That's a very nice boost. And that goes on to the motherboard, does it? Ah, excellent. Right, so my motherboards. So this one here. Is it the sound chip? Let's copy that. Built-in speaker, there it is. So it's currently 57.94 and 38. Oh, they've jumped up a lot. So how's that? So I'm going from 64% and 78% of my, below my opponents. That's a significant improvement on that. Okay. So this is going to be, we'll call this one Speaker Bus. It's a name, it's a name. So let's create that. Excellent. Right, now again, my computer model. Which one shall we attach this to? Shall we improve? Shall we go for a whole brand new computer, picking the best ones, best components? Let's do that. It's a new home computer. Haven't yet reached the personal computer, which is the next stage of computer development. My accessories. Actually, let's make this an office one. So we'll use those accessories. My memory. We'll use we'll use the best memory we've got, which is our oldest, which is odd. Double click that, that's right. The CPU, again we'll use our best one, which is an older one unfortunately still, which is the 8080, not the 8088. Stick you in there. Removable media, we'll use of course the 3-inch diskette. We don't at this point have separate video or graphics cards. The power supply will be the best one there, which is the quiet one. Storage, that Winchester. The motherboard, latest and greatest. The display, we have got a screen, so we'll put that on there. And the operating system is that one. Right, so this is going to be the Tektron 824 Office Pro. Yes, because it's a fabulous office machine, so that's what we'll call it. Save that design. Okay, and let's.
Your new computer model went into the testing phase.
So at the moment, how does that compare? That compares remarkably. The feature set is less than the previous one because it's using a different set of accessories. The Office ones as opposed to the gamer ones. Prestige. Again, I'm getting Prestige for some reason off the gaming kit rather than the Office accessories, which is slightly odd. Okay, yeah, but quality is top of the range there. That is excellent. All right. Okay, everything else is fine. Now, can I increase my research capacity without expending too much money in any of these sites? Okay, Guyana is my original rich country, and I can't really increase that because I'm not going to cover 250 grand's worth of daily expense. Laboratory here, in a poor country. Now you see, it should cost me 2,000 a day to maintain this, but because I'm a poor country, that's bumped up by 30%. But I have a level 2 office, so it's taken down by 20%, so it's only an 2,080 daily cost. That'll be 10,000 there to upgrade. I could do that. Yeah, I haven't got any level 0 ones. I've got level 1 labs everywhere. Okay, so Suriname, we will build a new lab there. Okay, and that will come up. I should now be making enough money to cover that. Oh, this is impressive. 28.37% of the market. That's computer sales. That's excellent. Okay, and I'm still just within my demands. That's okay. Because the risk is if you go above your demand, the demand goes above your supply, you need to build those expensive factories. And then it just becomes cost prohibitive. How's my Malawi doing? I've pretty much made no inroads in Malawi at all. Really, my market share hasn't changed, but that's okay. I've got Sudan, I've got the United Kingdom, really good marketplaces for my computers. That's excellent. Okay, let's run this on.
Your building upgrade has completed.
So I've now got 14 research points. Actually, let's take a look at research before the end of the year. So I'm nearly halfway to microphones. I'm doing a lot of sort of speaker and sound based stuff recently. Okay, ooh, the 286. Now that's expensive though, isn't it? That'll take a while to get there. Let's order this in terms of
Your new
cost.
computer model is polished.
We'll pause the game before we do any more. Okay, so in terms of cost, modular computer design. Aha! So this is it. This brings us into PCs. Right. Well, we'll do that before we go SCSI. Definitely. Yeah. Did we have SCSI on home computers before we had personal computers? I really can't remember. Again, I understand that the research sort of table we've got here will be replaced by something more akin to a tree, so you'll get a better idea of how computer development actually worked in the real world, and so the time scales and how one thing led to another, basically, which you can't really tell from here. It's kind of implied as we've seen new things appear on the list, like the 286 processor didn't appear until I had the 8088. But yeah, so again, lots of really good and interesting developments coming along, which will make this game really rather awesome. Let's stick the UPS in there. We add it rather. Add it to the list. And okay. Now, I've seen in the forums some people saying that going into PC starts making the game really difficult. I'm game for a laugh, so let's do that. Right, we'll put SCSI down in research priorities. So we'll bring the microphone. Yeah, we'll leave the microphone there, seeing as we're pretty much started. We'll come back to that. So that'll be next year. But anyway, my new computer is polished, and the feedback is, oh, it's not a market leader. Again, that's the prestige, isn't it? So that was the only thing I've really got going. So that's my gaming computers do that. Right, but we will still sell it for 2150 perhaps. Can we do that? Market it. Oh, we're selling a few. It's picking up. We're not going to sell that many, but it's something. Okay, right, we're approaching the end of 1982, and this episode has gone on rather longer than usual, so perhaps I've been talking about stuff more than I usually do. So we will wait for the year to turn over. Looks like everything is selling reasonably well, with the exception of that old office machine. Right, the autosave is done, which means the year end is upon us, so we're in 1983. Okay, so beginning of next year, the next episode, I will review these prices again and bring us back into major profitability. Okay, so in 1982 we spent a lot because we went out and built lots of new buildings, and we went into 2 countries, which cost 13 million. But looking at that, spending 13 million going into new countries and only losing less than 7 million, that's quite good. I'm quite happy with that. Sales, sales dipped a bit. Yeah, I think I was struggling with my old computers, wasn't I, this year? But we're still doing reasonably well. Customers, United Kingdom. Right, so Venezuela has always been my top market because it's one of the largest countries in my domain. But the 2 new countries of United Kingdom and Sudan, I'm not quite sure why that's uppercase, but there you are. They're doing really well as well. And global sales, this is across all companies. Oh, splendid. I've now got 3 countries in there: Venezuela, United Kingdom and Sudan. So out of 5 competitive companies, I have 3 countries in the top 8. That's pretty impressive. Okay, and as you can see, everyone appears to be focusing on poorer to average wealth countries, or really poverty-stricken ones rather than poor. Interesting. Okay, so what's the market share look like? Ooh, I'm still ahead. Everyone else has dipped though. Everyone's dipped this year, which is interesting. It's interesting when that happens. I'm not quite sure. Is that gap bigger than it was last year? I'm not sure. I think it might be. But if I take a look here in the top right, top left, I have 36.4%, rounding up, of the global sales of computers in this game. Out of 5 competing companies, that is darned impressive. Possibly because I've expanded into 2 big new countries. I'm getting those 2 words mixed up again. What the heck is going on? That's impressive. I'm very, very happy with that. Preferences. I don't think this graphs mean greens. So these lines don't mean anything. As far as I can tell, they don't seem to change. I could go back and look at my old videos and see if these preferences changed over time. They might actually do, but I'm not going to worry about that, to be honest. Ease of use is allegedly the world's most popular quality of a computer. Okay, and finally, I have now reached the ripe old age of 28. I still only have less than a 0.2% chance of dying in the next year, which is quite good. This is sort of the other aspect of the game, is reaching singularity, a technology singularity, ultimate technology basically, reaching that before you die in the game. And once you get quite rich and old, there are greater risks to your well-being. Like espionage apparently, and simply ill health. But they don't affect me for the moment, I think. So we're going to leave it on that graph there, which is rather like. I just love that figure at the top, best of all. Anyway, yes, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Computer Tycoon. It's run on rather longer than usual, hasn't it? For which I kind of apologise, but I've really enjoyed this particular one. Lots of good stuff happening. And yes, if you've enjoyed it, please leave us a like. Just click that button below. And if you've got any ideas, thoughts, suggestions, criticisms, anything you want to say about the game or the way I'm playing it, whatever, just drop a note into the comments box below. And of course, if you've not already subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel, and that way you'll be notified one way or another when I upload another one of these or any of my other Let's Play videos. But from me, Ajaxpost, here in Computer Tycoon, until the next time, bye bye for now.